So what was our strategy last time?
The way that music and anything like food and smell and anything, but music especially, carries such intense memories with it.
It evokes a lot.
It evokes a lot of feelings, and it's like when I was just listening to that song, I was thinking about like Muggy and Grampy, and it was making me feel sad and of course like uncomfortable and like because you miss that feeling. But instead of like what Papa's saying of like, oh, I don't want to listen to it and like it's so depressing, it's like that can be like your time, yeah, to like channel that memory and like cherish that memory and to feel and to feel grateful every single time. It's so painful sometimes to think about that whole part of life and all my memories like that, but I try to think of it as that will always exist and I will literally always carry that with me. It's making me emotional.
Yeah, no, I totally understand because I was in the garage thinking that same thing.
Yeah.
But in the same sense, crying, it makes me happy too. This is the sad part. It's like comforting to hear this music, but then, like you said, you know, it's like, it's a mixed bag of emotions.
It is, yeah, because it's comforting and it's also really, it's hard.
Yeah, it is.
But it's also like you're like creating new memories too that you cherish alongside those, and it's like,
yeah, exactly. You sort of want to carry it on and share it, right?
exactly. Like you know, you can't ever replicate that feeling in that time, but you can still do traditions, and now in the future that will look different, but you'll still have a reason to come together. You know what I mean?
It's hard. I know. Yeah, I can't even find the words to describe how it makes me feel to listen to this old tired music, but as some people refer to it as, but it makes me feel good. Like I think of fireplaces and cookies and sort of a warm feeling.
Yeah, and you get to carry that feeling of Christmas and what it means to you forever. In a way.
Is that your friend?
So we woke up really early today, didn't we? We did. I need to leave the house very soon, like probably in the next 10 minutes. We're gonna get some writing done. I've had a good morning. It's been a good morning. This morning I have been reflecting on kind of just the idea, okay, my computer is not going to stop making that noise. This morning I've been reflecting on the idea of the phases that we go through in life. For example, when I was like 18 or 19, just that phase of my life and the things that I was learning and the version of myself that I was creating, and how that has changed so immensely, and kind of just my vision of success has changed so much. I think that change has made me feel insecure. When you go through different lessons in life and you start acquiring different types of knowledge, and you have certain what you interpret to be different downfalls, and you learn different lessons and go through different things, it can be a humbling journey because that version of you and how you're being perceived changes. It almost requires this type of ego death to continue on with confidence. The person who I was, that is still me, but it's also not. at the end of the day. I don't know, like just kind of having some sort of identity crisis, I guess. When I was a teenager, like I was always creating. I was very into photography, and then I started writing a lot of poetry when I was 16, and I was always sort of naturally creating. And I think as I grew up and certain responsibilities came to me and I started taking on more and going through a totally different phase in my life, a lot of that creative nature that I had started to shift and change, and I started to learn a lot of things, and my journey just started to look different. And I've been reflecting on a lot of that recently because I've seen so much of that inspiration that is similar to what I had when I was younger start to come back, but it's in such a different way, and I'm in such a different chapter of my life, and I feel like such a different person, but I still feel like some of those integral parts of me are still there. So I want to read you my diary entry this morning. I have not read it back. I just pumped this all out. And so we're going to read it back right now. This is a raw diary entry from this morning. I have been asking something bigger than me for the strength it takes to find the structure to fall into. Youthful blossoms that curled their way out of me were snipped and mutilated by an outside source. I observed this deteriorating process and found myself frustrated with no words to fill the empty spaces being made inside of me. This dissatisfaction slipped through my work ethic. It penetrated my tone with dismay and turned me into a person presenting themselves as an inauthentic version. I felt stripped of wonder. The muscle that produced my own magic was strained and tired. I made changes in my life and was rewarded with the death of the painful cycles of the past. The birth of a new chapter tickled my toes as I stood on the brink of the unknown. Those once unruly potent blossoms... Oh, sorry. Computer fell asleep. Those once unruly potent blossoms, red with romantic rigor and success, were merely half alive. The warm palette of my miracles seemed to alter, fading into cool-toned petals fragrant with doubt. Life still pulsed within, but a different rhythm. An upheaval of self-worth shoveled itself out of me, the remains of everything I thought I was good for scattered in front of me. The sediments were dense with nutrients, this unknown land vaster than anything I could have previously imagined. This evoked fear, and I attempted to hide. I wanted to cover myself in this soil, bury myself deeper and deeper until I choked on the possibility of everything I could be and pass away peacefully, forever in a dream instead of whatever this was. But all of those tantrums and drawn-out doubtful storms eventually became manageable. I began to become familiar with the cycles of my internal weather. I let the pulse of rebirth vibrate underneath my body. My balled-up fists started to loosen as I decided to surrender just a little bit. I listened closely to the whispers of my weakest spots. What were they telling me? What song were they singing, and where did they learn it? Could my petals become swollen with color once again? A color that maybe I never knew existed. Over time, it became obvious that this vast land was waiting for me to dig my desires back into it. The more in tune I got, the more I could hear it begging to envelop my greatest wishes into its clay. Collect the seeds, the ones that fall from your blossoms, and sow them as you wish. Watch as you tuck them into your earth inside and how they germinate. Don't stare them down, analyzing each fold of the sprouts they take. Honor the process of this season, storms and all, and let them grow. This was the message I began to hear. So yeah. That's what I've been thinking about on this fine morning. I like the concept of me having these certain blossoms or flowers or fruits, this creativity in me, and watching it sort of die and take different form and like fall and become decrepit and changing. And like on the outside that looks really discouraging, like, oh my god, there's parts of me dying. But then naturally, like a fruit or a flower or anything, when something dies, the seeds fall out and it falls into the earth and into the dirt and takes a new form again and grows again. This is the outfit of the day. This jacket is from my mom made it. It is their faux fur puffer. And it literally is the exact same color as Maisie, but I'm not wearing Maisie fur. but we are matching, I will say that. And then just got a little linen skirt on. I have an acne t-shirt, and then this shirt that I got from Urban Outfitters years ago that I love the little detailing of it. That's the look. Gonna go begin the day.
Here, Chloe and I made vision boards, and here we are again.
We're doing it again.
A year, and it does not even feel like a year later, but it is a year later.
2024.
It's here.
2024.
I remember last year at this time we were talking about like, oh, what do we want to happen in the new year? Oh, what's 2023? And I remember that, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember that you and I had a really similar goal where it was like, oh, 2023 is the year of really putting in like action and work towards our goals and things. And I felt that on a but that is what happened for both of us, I can tell, but in a very technical way that was really painful. When it had to do with limiting beliefs, when it had to do with reprogramming the way that you think about yourself or your mindset or your insecurities, like all of these things that you're constantly working towards, right? That's like, that was the work that I wasn't doing last year.
Yeah.
I was not doing that. Of course, like there was other things that I was getting to that point, but I was not doing that, right?
Yeah. And at this time last year, I was in such a deep place of insecurity, and like, it was really dark, honestly. It was a really dark time of overcoming social anxiety and like feeling even worthy of just being here. And like, it was just really dark and a lot of overcoming that, but I think I needed to go through. And so, yeah, it was focused on the action of like, how can I get out of my mental state that I'm in right now and like fix whatever is happening. I think now it's like I'm so secure in so many ways. So what am I gonna do? But it's scary.
It's scary to let the stories go that you have of yourself. That you like,
it's like
the narrative you have of this is so hard for me, and I can't do this, or I'm so not this type of person. All of these things that we have and that we cling to so hard, especially when it comes to your goals that you hold very like intimately into your heart. Like, it's just limiting beliefs, kind of.
When else am I
gonna do that?
Happen?
When else am I gonna do that?
If it's literally now or never. Getting up for the gym in the morning. If you don't do it now, then you're never gonna do it. If you don't meditate now, then you're never gonna do it. If you don't clean now, you're never gonna. Like, if you don't become this now, then you just never will.
I think some crazy things are gonna happen.
I think so too. For years.
It's gonna be a lot of like, here's where you put the work in, and you're gonna see it.
Fruit.
Actually, yeah, exactly. Fruits of your labor. You're gonna see it.
What are we doing, Max?
We're making masha. Grape leaves. Grape leaves? Hopefully these aren't too dried out because I've had these for a while, but we'll see how they kept. Hey, I've never heard this Christmas song.
What? Hark the Herald?
Oh,
Angels?
never mind. Sorry. I thought it was still the Grinch. Preferably smaller is better. Here we go. That's a good size one. What would you say? That's 1/5 of the size of the leaf? Eyeball.
Like 1/4 maybe. Maybe a
Smaller
quarter.
Smaller ones are better. Folding the bottom two over. Tucking in the side, folding that over. over the other side. You're tucking it into bed, and then kind of making it snug right there. And then just roll. And then we'll put it in the pot. Just breathe.
Like you always do. No.
Eat it.
It's too intimate. It's too up close. It's good. Oh, the red.
have a small Reese's Sonic Blast.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Whoa. Whoa. I just got sent home early from work because I have my period and I was not feeling good and I just had to run in the lightning and thunder and the rain to get back to my car while I'm having pretty intense cramps. So that was fun. Got my magnesium, headed to a Christmas party. Not feeling so good. I also have my heating pad in hand. My mom is driving me. Alright, I thought I wasn't gonna start there. That looks good.
It's all over my hand already. That's good.
Do you think you'd kind of like having paparazzi follow you around?
Go.
I think I'd like the attention for a while.
Not right
Yeah.
I don't think that would. I don't think that would get old for a second.
Yeah.
But then later I would.
Yeah. Like imagine.
Hold on to your shit.
We're gonna die.
I'm going so fast. I'm peeing my pants right now. I literally am.
Ooh, man.
There they are back there. We made it.
That was intense.
Should we get off here?
I'll pull up.
Okay.
Check that shit out.
Let's do that. Should we try this?
Ready.
2, 1. Here, let me. And then shoot that sucker up. Pull it back, yeah. You almost got it! No.